Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your May 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a Sun, Moon, or Rising Aquarius. Before we get started, take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. If you would like to work with me, take a class with me, sign up for my newsletter, get a free meditation, check out everything in the description box. Lots of good stuff in there. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing. I'm going to lay this spread out and then we will get started. All right, let's start with your oracle cards. First thing, Rhoda. So this is kind of like there's opportunity in the challenge. And so your job, since this is the energy that's coming up, is like hold the vision, keep the faith, which is something that we're collectively trying to do. But it's like whatever you're being really, really challenged by at this time, that's where all of the rewards live. That's actually where things are going to work out for you. So get curious with it rather than trying to fight it. The other thing that's coming up is like the cycles. So if you're trapped in a cycle, being able to interrupt that, like really bringing something to conclusion is going to be really important. And then we have the Underworld, so all of the messy, damp, dark places, the parts that you probably don't want to look at, don't want to admit. This is reminding me of shadow, in all honesty. It's just like all of the parts that we kind of let go untended to, which becomes a mess. So it's like the things that you're not addressing, that's what's happening, or that's what's coming up. It's like you need to witness these parts. You're not going to be able to bypass them. It's like just get curious with them, no matter what they are. And then authenticity, who you are now in your entirety is worthy and enough. Resist the urge to pretend. Life is asking for more of your truth. Do it your way. So just be true to what it is that you're doing, what you're going for. Like, just own it. Now, the central energy for you is the Six of Rods. So this is victory. This is a big fat yes. This is achievement, accomplishment. You're already doing it. You're making it happen. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening. The crossing energy is the Chariot. Ooh, so there's a lot of power in both of these cards. I'm getting that it is like soul growth. So when I see the Chariot, it's a lot of soul evolution that happens as a result. So I think there's like high speed taking place, with the victory card. It's like things are, you're really growing and developing fast right now. So whatever the case may be, even if you feel like you're just in an incubation chamber, right? If you're just kind of sitting and not really doing anything, there's still a massive amount of soul growth that's happening. Let's look at what's shifting out for you this month. 10 of Cups. So this might have been, I'm getting that this is coming up differently for different people. So some of you may have kind of been ignoring this dark, shadowy stuff that you have inside. We all have this. But if you've been ignoring this and trying to bypass it or like ignore it or anything like that, this is showing the transition of getting into soul's growth, which means addressing this, addressing the wounding. And then for some of you, it might be that you've just been enjoying yourself and now in May, you're actually having to show up and do the work and make things happen, or things in your life really start moving along. Let's see what the oncoming energy is. We have the Six of Cups. Gotta pay attention to the inner child. So one of the things I like to remind people, and I'm going to bring it up here since it's coming up, your inner child is where the inner dialogue actually was forged. Your inner child is also where the solutions are going to be, because the process of reparenting and healing the inner child is going to help with that internal dialogue, which is the most important piece. Your internal dialogue is also like your shadow, like the part of you that is being destructive or isn't making things work the way you want them to, or is causing some disruptions. It's like your inner child, your shadow, and your ego are all kind of synonymous in many respects. And so whatever you're working with, it's like these are all tied in together. So this is a really satisfying reading. Just the core of this is so much evolution, and it looks like it's in deep, deep, deep service of you. The Six of Cups is simply highlighting the need for you to pay attention to the young you. You know, that's still going to need tending to as you move out of May and whenever things start moving again. Let's look at the outward manifestation. We have Judgment. What have you decided? This is something that, depending on where you're at, this is really, really helping you with manifestation, or it's getting in your way. Because the thing is, if you come from the standpoint of God is a yes man, so God's always going to say yes. So if you say my life is shit, God's going to say yes. If you say my life is great, God's going to say yes. If you say, you know, things are constantly working out for me, God is going to say yes. If you say nothing ever works out for me, God is going to say yes. So you have to be careful with that. You have to be careful with what you decide, because it could either really, really put you on a growth track, or it can be something that's going to keep you in the madness cycle of nothing works, nothing works, nothing works. And until you adjust this, you're not going to fix the environmental stuff. Let's look at what's happening in the subconscious. Oh my God, how funny. So this is Strength, but it says, now let's get that demon out of you. And it's funny because you have so many really powerful cards. You have, 3 major arcana cards that are on the table. So it's like May is a significant month, but I'm kind of coming from the standpoint of, I want you to capitalize on the energy that you have available to you. So be really careful what story you're telling. Be mindful about, you know, what you're declaring, what you're saying is true for you. Careful with that, because I see a lot of people misuse that. So I'm just trying to give you some power, because the Strength card is saying you do have personal power that's sitting in the subconscious. You do have this really potent, you can do it, push. And there's just so much goodness that's on the table. It's like, you know, use that in the month of May. Marinate in this in the month of May, and let that be what you embody so you can call in more of it. Let's look at the advice for you. We have the Seven of Swords. You can only carry so much. And so as you evolve, there are going to be things that you have to let go of, and you have to decide, you know what, I'm just going to take what I need. And there's a lot of things that you probably don't need that you're still trying to carry. So it's important for you to cut the fat. You need to trim the fat. You need to trim the distractions. You need to get rid of things that are interrupting your well-being. And to clarify this, we have the King of Knives, right? So it's like, just because you've had experiences or you have certain wisdom, you have all of that stuff that's got you here, it doesn't mean that you still need to carry the old stuff just because it used to work for you. So you want to rise above. You want to... Well, to me, this reading, it actually looks like a lot of you already know what to do. Like, this is just a reflection of what you already know, all of this stuff. Like, I'm not telling you anything that you don't at your core know. So whatever the thing is that isn't serving you, or is weighing you down, or is like oh, that's just the way that I've done things before, so that's the way I'm going to continue to do things, that's a massive mistake. If you're going into it saying, this is what I've done previously, so I'm going to keep doing this, or this is the pattern I'm going to continue, watch yourself on that, because that's going to be the thing that bites you. So in the external environment, or the environmental influences, we have the moon. And this is confusion. This is uncertainty, or on this card, it's called Crazy Town. But the general energy of this is a big fat I don't know. And this is the space that you want to work. You want to kind of move with the current, but also like cast your energy into the current as well. That's important because that's where you're going to be manifesting from. So I'm getting that there aren't any really potent environmental influences in the month of May. It doesn't seem like there's a lot that is forcing your environment in any one direction, which means it's going to be heavily creation based, or it's going to be highly, highly reflective. Which is why the decision piece, I was really pushy on that, because it's like your decision is going to be what gets reflected. Now, in the hopes and fears position, we have the Knight of Cups. Let me clarify this one. Knight of Stars, interesting. This is highlighting stability, like I am craving this stability. So maybe it's emotional stability, consistency within yourself. I think there's a hope for that. The fear might be you telling yourself a story about, oh no, things are going to get stale. I think that is like one of Aquarians, if you have a lot of Aquarian energy, that's often one of the biggest blind spots, is like telling yourself that things are going to get boring and stale if things are stable. Or if things are consistent. And that's not actually true. And that's why it's coming up in the hopes and fears position. The outcome of the month is the Four of Pentacles. You know what? This is coming up as energetic conservation. So I don't actually see this as like money scarcity quite as much. I'm not getting that from this card for whatever reason. I'm getting energetic conservation, like really needing to pull back how much you're giving to others, how much you are investing in other people, or how much you're giving. You still need to be mindful of that, because it's also like the big theme for you is like, where are you placing your attention, your focus, your energy? And I think you're getting better and better and better at that, which is why I'm not getting this as like a bad card. I'm just getting that it's reflecting some of the judgment elements of, be intentional with where you put that. Be intentional with what you decide and what you give energy and what you entertain. Let's look at the timeline. First quarter, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Maybe you start something up, or maybe you're just materially focused at this time, like at the beginning of the month. Maybe you're like, maybe I should apply to this place, or sell some stuff that I have sitting around, or it just seems like there's a lot of material, your attention is on the material here. So that'll be interesting to see how that shows up for you. Second quarter, we have the Emperor. Boundaries, structure, order, container. There's a need for you to set some limits with yourself. I'm getting that this is very, very internal masculine energy for each of you. So where do you feel like you haven't been having good boundaries with yourself, or where do you feel like you've been, maybe throwing your energy around, or giving it to places that aren't serving you? And that's what you want to tighten up on. And then third quarter, we have the Sun. So it seems like if you do follow through with this, like if you are funneling your energy into the right pockets, then all of a sudden things get really, really relaxed here in this third quarter. And I think you really start enjoying yourself if that's something even though this reading is telling me that you have been enjoying yourself, it just looks like things relax and you really have the opportunity to play and have fun and enjoy yourself in this third quarter. The fourth quarter, we have the Death card. It's this right here, the Seven of Swords. It's that coming to fruition in that fourth quarter. Like, you've got to, something has to go. Otherwise, you risk repeating the same patterns again and again and again and again. Okay, let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to ask a question, ask for clarity, guidance, support, whatever you need. Pick as few or as many cards as you'd like. And if you need more time, pause the video. Card number 1, we have the Two of Swords. You're not going to know exactly what's oncoming. You're just not. It puts the responsibility back on your intention, and it's saying, like, don't look at the environment, look at your energetics. So do that first. Don't look at, you know, how other people are responding or how other people are receiving you or what's showing up in your environment right away. Focus on the energetic alignment for the best results. Card number 2, we have the Two of Cups. Connection matters. So maybe this is like highlighting, this is where you might want to give more energy or less energy. It's like, which camp are you living? Are you overly concerned with the relationships or with the collective or with other people? Like, is it something you need to get more conservative on, pull energy back? Or is it something that you want to nurture, that you want to grow, that you want to develop? I am getting that it's probably one of those for you. So just enjoy working with whichever camp you're living in. And then card number 3, we have the Eight of Wands. Things are moving faster than I think you realize. Don't get in your head about when things are going to happen. Try not to focus on the timing too much, because I'm getting that there's just a lot of progress being made already, so you don't need to worry about it. Things are moving at the pace that they need to. Really, really trust the timing, okay? Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to know when I put out new readings. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, which is down in the description box below. You'll get a free dealing with family meditation, and you'll also get readings sent to your inbox, as well as other information on all sorts of good stuff that I put out. If you would like to know which decks I used in this reading, they're all listed in the description box. If you need to work with me, go to onyxhealing.com, and I will see you beautiful people later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.